Hey everybody, it's Julie. Thanks for joining me here on the Creative Retreat YouTube channel for some Bible journaling. It is the Monday after Christmas that this video is going live. However, I am recording this a few days earlier, so I'm taking a break from the shopping, from the cooking, from the baking, from the wrapping of presents, all that stuff. And I'm really contemplating the reason for what I'm doing. Why am I doing all this? And I am brought here to Luke chapter 2. I'm reminded in this devotional Higher Ways, which is the December collection, part of the December collection. And it says here, in this case, over 2,000 years ago, the redemptive purpose of saving the world from their sin, the redemptive purpose of God. And I am focusing on that Jesus came to redeem us. He was purposed to die. Here in Luke chapter 2, it talks about Simeon and Anna and how they had been waiting for the Messiah. And I love this passage that says, this is what Simeon spoke and blessed the baby, over the baby. Lord, now you are letting your servant depart in peace according to your word. For my eyes have seen your salvation, that you have prepared in the presence of all peoples a light for revelation to the Gentiles and for glory to your people Israel. And then here, Simeon also says to Mary, baby Jesus' mother, behold, this child is appointed for the fall and rising of many in Israel, and for a sign that is opposed, and a sword will pierce through your own soul, so that thoughts from many hearts may be revealed. In this passage talks about how he was prepared and appointed for that redemptive purpose. God's redemptive purpose is revealed in the Son of Jesus, and God is manifest in Jesus. So I'm going to be doing some journaling. It's going to be a simple page. I'm just, like I said, I'm taking a break from all the busyness. And I'm focusing on God's redemptive purpose, and that's what Christmas is about. So let's get started. Okay, so I've put you here on fast forward, and I'm going to start off by cutting out one of these paper pieces from the Faith-Filled Digitals. I printed these on cardstock. I really like this grid sheet. And I'm also going to use the one with the burgundy one with the Christmas tree print, because we're in that season. And I'm going to stamp the word God here. This is from the stamp set. I love this font. I love this print, the scripty print. And I'm going to take the word is, but I'm going to isolate the S. So I'm taking some washi tape, placing it over the I in the word is, inking up my stamp, taking off the washi tape, don't forget that part, lining up the S, and then it works perfectly for the word God's. Because what I'm saying here, I'll put an apostrophe in there. I'm saying God's higher purpose is our redemption. And that's the whole reason why he sent his son Jesus here on this earth to live and to die, born as a baby. And that's what we've been celebrating here at Christmas time. So I'm trying to decide if I want to use the sticker that says higher, and I end up using the stamp because I want to get a variety of the fonts. I love that variety of different fonts. I decide that it's going to get lost just straight on the background, so I find one of the labels that I cut out from the Faith-Filled Digitals, and I stamp the word higher on there. Now, because those alpha stickers hang off the side of the tip end to the left, then I am aligning this label over to the right margin. And I took those stickers, placed them on some clear packaging, and just kind of hung them off halfway so that I could see where they line up nicely. But it can also, like right here, then I can just press them down and carefully pull that plastic out from underneath. I decided that it needed a backing because this is going to be a tip in. This paper piece that I've cut out is going to be a tip in, and I want to be able to open it. And some of those alpha stickers stuck off the side. So I'm just going to give it a backing with some of that burgundy paper. And we're going to place this on here. This is a very simple page. I use just the elements from the Faith Art Box and the Faith Filled Digitals. I'm going to place that on, and I'm making sure not to put in any adhesive on the part that's going to be exposed because I don't want it to stick to the page. I'm going to use, again, this as a tip-in. So now I stamp the word is, as is. I don't do any isolation or masking or anything there. So I use the cream colored circle alphas the first time. Now I'm going to use the green. So my color scheme is the burgundy and the green and the cream. Keep it kind of in line with some Christmas colors. And for the word redemption, I'm counting out my letters in the word redemption, and it's 10. They won't fit exactly in this grid because there's too many letters. But these tiles, these little ones, these are some add-ons, and they are available in the shop. I will have all of the products linked in the description box of the products that I used. So I like to use tweezers on these little alpha stickers. It just helps to line them up better, pick them up better. So I'm placing that down. 10 letters did not fit perfectly across on this paper. So again, that's why I made a backing for it. And I just trimmed that out. So you saw me on the first one, and you'll see me again in a little bit. I use a ruler to help cut straight lines, but this was pretty easy. I just followed the letters. I only gave a small little background for that. So it says, God's higher purpose is our redemption. Now this tip-in page does not go all the way down the entire length of the Bible page, and I wanted it to. So I'm going to use some of that Christmas tree paper down at the bottom for a bottom border. And you saw me round the corner. And now I'm going to flip it over and line it up with the top and bottom of the page, and then put some washi tape there to attach the two pieces together. And now you'll see me trim off the edges. And here's where I bring in my ruler again. This is a big sturdy ruler. I really don't know where I got this, but any straight edge would work for this purpose. Just line it up and cut. Okay, now I'm going to take some washi tape and make a hinge so that I can flip this tip in open and shut. So it's like a door. That's why we call it a tip-in, because it tips. I'm going to use this rainbow as the focal point. A rainbow really brings to mind the higher purpose, God's promise. And a rainbow is much higher than us. It's in the sky. So you can see I'm putting some of these embellishments now, the wonky hearts and little heart stickers. That one cream-colored heart really fades into the background right now, but you'll see in a moment I'm going to outline that with my black pen, and then it just comes to life. It stands out. Any of these elements that have the adhesive exposed on the back, I use my powder tool because I don't want it to close, to stick this tip in, to stick to the back, because again, I want to be able to open my tip in, and I'm going to do some journaling on the underside of that. I use the little circle with a rainbow on it up top and the word higher, and I'm going to come in with a tab. I'm going to cut a tab out and actually add that. Here you go. Now you can see that heart just came to life by outlining it. Add that apostrophe in the word God's. Outline all of the little elements. And that really does help to make them stand out against the background of this. And now I'm going to cut out a tab with my tab punch using that burgundy Christmas tree paper. I love the designs of this kit, and Danielle the owner of the company does such a great job coming up with all these fabulous designs and themes. And now I decide I'm going to move that over to the center of the page instead of having it line up with the tip in. You can see though, in all the little elements that I use, I make sure to attach them somewhere, anchor them to something. One of the words, one of the labels. You just don't want to have a random piece floating out in the middle of nowhere. It's just more aesthetically pleasing. Provides more balance to your page. I'm underlining some of the key sentences in this passage. And now I'm taking some washi tape and anchoring the tab up there at the top. And I'm going to place that little leftover bit, because I tore it in half, down at the bottom of the page, and I'm going to date stamp my page. I do come in though afterwards and add my date stamp on one of the labels from the Faith-Filled Digitals. I just felt like it really needed that to balance out the whole page, and you'll see that in the still shots. This little circle is the only piece I put out in the middle of nowhere, but it's right there by the verse, so it kind of brings attention to the verse. Here is my finished page. Simple, but it still reminds me of God's purpose for me and for all of humanity. If you have any questions or comments about this page or the products, leave them in the comment section and I'll check those. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today, and God bless.